C'est pourquoi j'ai choisi l'engraissement.
Growing and commercializing.
Pour moi, c'est engraisser et vendre.
Because it's a short-term business now.
Parce que c'est
3 years.
Période, 3 ans.
And in my country is to reproduce grasshoppers and make game within 3 years. It will be difficult.
Et parce que chez moi au Nigeria, faire la reproduction
because of the
la poudre et avoir de profit c'est très difficile.
Because of the cost of production.
À cause du coût de production. Let's say you go back, the price change because you find it difficult to do the production. Now if the price change, what are you going to do?
But if I go back, the price has changed. Price of one to buy one has changed. Yes. The only effect you have is that the sale price will increase.
The facilitators subjected the business models to critical evaluation.
It's like I'm the sponsor. I do not know anything about the project. They are the one that write it. They should be able to explain everything clearly. Through their presentation, I that had no idea on it before, I should be able to understand something. First of all, the planning, the production, the planning production, okay, I must know something about the cost of the project. And most important also is the cost of production, because there are many among them, they just fix the price. They do not consider the expenses, their own efforts, and they just look at in the air and fix the price. But what we want from them is to master all those things so that to plan things well.
Francis Njogwane, director of the ECOWAS Youth and Sports Center, which handles the program, says the emphasis is on developing young entrepreneurs who will be agents of change in their respective countries.
Agriculture is one vast area with huge potentials for creating jobs for this category of citizens of our community. Now, as part of that objective also, when you're able to get them to create jobs, first employ themselves through agriculture with large plantations, of course they can't farm those plantations alone. And ultimately they create other jobs, and in doing so they are taking away a good number of other young men and women from the labor market. Now the other objectives that are rolled into it, food security, of course, it comes naturally if the farms are working and all of them are able to create farms and expand them. And of course there's production. Production not just for ultimate local consumption, if possible also export. So that's also what we think we can do, processing those things that come out of their farms and exporting them. And in that area also they create further jobs along the production line. We think that member states are connecting well. Evidence is the fact that at this session we have 14 member states. Okay, 14 member states, and all of them have sent in the maximum number required, 6 per country. So we've had the highest number of participation so far.
As the director of the Songhai Center, Father Godfrey Nzamunjo has been at the center of the program.
We have a long way to go, and they must look into themselves. The key is not even the packages they're going to get. The key is themselves. People who have a vision, they say, I will do it. I'm going to unleash the forces within myself. Songhai has opened my eyes, the possibility sets. The primary reason of Songhai is to open their eyes. It is working. Africa has technologies working. How can I harness them? But it needs them to tighten their seatbelt and remove from their brain this mentality of entitlement. That you owe me, nobody owes you, you owe. There are millions of young West Africans who could have been here. Only 82 are here. You should be saying, thank God, and pay back by hard work, creating something, creating type of thing, and coming back here today. We are ready to work with them. We know it couldn't be done in a month time, but it's at the beginning. We have injected that virus in them. If they can harness it, I think they'll be very successful tomorrow.
The beneficiaries of the program are in the position to also evaluate its impact. And Josephine Bafinda from Sierra Leone, from the 2013 batch, says the training exposed her to new ways of doing things.
I'm now ready to go on to realize my dream, because what I've learned here, if I am empowered by the government, I will go and implement it in my country.
Communicating during the program has often been a challenge for the youths who come from different linguistic groups, a factor that has been one of the obstacles to the dream of regional integration.
Esta formação aqui em Songhai foi bom porque todos nós.
The way the youths get around this has been a model for regional cooperation and integration. Claudia Gomez from Niger Republic speaks French and serves as an interpreter for her peers who speak only Portuguese, while one of the facilitators, Emmanuel Hangnilo, completes the interpretation into English. Francis Njogwane says this is the spirit the Commission hopes to engender so the youths can drive the dream of one regional community.
Today they are friends. 30 days ago they never knew each other. Even those who came from the same country, came from different backgrounds, perhaps only met at the airport for the first time. And so the 30 days they've spent here, they've made new friends. Where it's not unlikely that somewhere along the line there may be a few marriages or wedlocks, unions here and there. That is the essence. Now, the ideas that they take away from here would have come from different backgrounds, people from different backgrounds, and so those friendships, those links, we hope will be strengthened through the creation of networks that they intend to do themselves.
At a ceremony to round out their training, the 83 youths from 14 West African countries were optimistic that they would reap bountifully from the 1 month they had spent here. The plan to use the technology of the social media to coordinate the business ideas that have been generated by the many youths that have been through the Songhai training program of ECOWAS.
And one of the reasons on Nigeria, one of my colleagues told me was that when we get back, and a guy from Sierra Leone said it, when we get back, for example, I'm going to do liquid soap. Liquid soap is not localized in Liberia, right? So I wouldn't be able to find the materials to do the liquid soap. So my colleagues are in Nigeria, my colleagues are in Benin. I'm going to connect with them. We have the connections. If I have to send my cash, they will buy for me and send. Because if I have to get in plane to go and get it, it's going to be like importation of liquid soap.
The projection is that any improvement in the agriculture sector will translate to higher incomes and improve the quality of lives for the many impoverished people in the region. This is because agriculture and agro-allied ventures provide about 60% of all employment, and it is still the backbone of most West African economies. Improvement in agricultural performance can potentially increase incomes and purchasing power for large numbers of people. Therefore, more than any other sector, agriculture can uplift people on a mass scale. The over 400 young men and women from West African countries that ECOWAS has trained in Songhai constitute the proverbial seeds that have been sown for agriculture in the region to flourish. These youths, following in the footsteps of the Eugenists, can in the long term make the region stand up for agriculture.